exit door number 1. Please go to exit door number 2. Please go to exit door number 3. Please go to exit door number 4. Please don't let the door hit you in the back on your way out. Please stay tuned. The ODSP exit door and the discussion is coming up next. Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to PWD Allies podcast. My name is Brent Frayne. I'm the host, and please like and subscribe and share the content today. It helps to kind of keep the channel going upwards, and it builds up the viewership. And hope you enjoy all the content that you're seeing and hearing today and other days. Lots of apps to choose from to subscribe to the podcast, so check them out. Just go to your favorite app store and download. Today, I have Minnie St. joining me from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I hope you enjoy today's episode. Hello, Minnie. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So ODSP exit door, what does that mean?
There's an exit strategy. Like there's actually an exit to ODSP. It's not a good exit, but it's still an exit. And the part that's not good about the exiting of ODSP is the health insurance. But it's workable. I felt like you don't have to be on them not even your whole life. You're there until you're 64 and then they push you to GIS, OAS, and whatever old age security programs available to you when you turn 64. Because they want you to exit. It's built in. Like they built the exit. It just a lot of people are not using it or they can't use it. And
just don't let the door on your way out.
Well, yeah, it's like some people leave and you never hear anything about it.
Yeah.
And then that wasn't helping me with being an entrepreneur, running my business. And I was told in the beginning of my application of, no, you can't work. You have to stay for $1,069 a month in 2011. And now 2025, it's $1,368. It goes up with inflation in July.
Yeah.
But it's still $1,368. And then it's up to, so think less than, and I met people who get $1,000 or $800 because of their housing situation. So like getting less of ODSP, if you're one of the people watching, you're getting less than $1,368, it's most likely part of your housing. So you're like if you're room and board at your parents' house, you're going to get less money because the assumption is your parents will take care of you because you're living with them. And then rooming housing and different housing situations and the rent to gear income, they have a formula of how they calculate the rent you're getting, which means it determines how much money you're getting in total from ODSP. So the only time you actually get the full amount for housing, the $582. So, does it make
Wow.
The more I say,
it's a lot.
But the more I say the details of the insanity, we live this.
Yeah. Well, the reason, I mean, if everybody looks at the thumbnail, the reason I use the one of the man pushing the rock up the hill is because there is the exit door there, but it's not a pain-free exit, right? There's a lot of pain and struggle and toil to get to that door.
Yeah, and then my social media will have a person in a wheelchair pushing a boulder up a hill.
Yeah,
because AI is wonderful that way.
Yeah.
And I think we need that image as the standard image.
That's true.
Of it.
Yeah.
Because pushing a regular boulder up a hill for like an able-bodied person, oh, okay, they get the mythology, but having the image with the disabled person in a wheelchair or like any visual aids that clearly say this is disabled in the image with the boulder up a hill. Yeah, we have to do both. We have our disability, then we're moving in society, and society is the boulder.
It's much more difficult.
And that image is way more emotional than just an able-bodied person pushing a boulder up a hill because we have this idea that
for me though, it's hard finding like copyright or stuff that doesn't have a whole bunch of like copyright stuff on it. So that's my
AI.
limitation. Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, AI. But I haven't done that yet. I haven't used that yet. So
I don't know. Get your son to practice and help you. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's there's so many different strategies on how to exit the ODSP, systemic barriers that are put in place. And, it's purposely built that way, to keep people suppressed down. Maybe we could dive into a little bit of that, Minnie.
So the strategies I determined are education, then education, employment, and then education to self-employment. Or I have to throw this in here, win the lottery. And
Yeah.
because of Canada not taxing your lottery winnings in the beginning, and then every province across the world has different ways of viewing your winnings from a lottery or an inheritance.
Mhm.
Yes, it's annoying. Like Ontario says you can have $10,000 in gifts, honorariums, and different types of inheritance and life insurance policies. Okay, so one time my grandma won $20,000 at the casino.
Mhm.
That means over it's 10 is exempt. The other 10,000 is not exempt unless I move it to an exempt asset. So
Mhm.
the other exempt assets would be for our ODSP, registered disability savings plan, then life insurance products. Now, if you're not financially literate of all the products we have out there, you just keep it in your savings account. You won't know to move it somewhere. But because I work with a financial planner and we have my life insurance set up as segregated funds. So segregated funds are like mutual funds, those investments in the stock market, but they're only sold by someone licensed to sell life insurance products. And
Mhm.
then under that, it's the tax-free savings account, my retirement savings account, RRSPs, and the first home savings account. And my challenge is educating my caseworker. I have them. They fall in Section 4.8 life insurance policies. Go talk to your supervisor or your longest working person in your office to figure it out. Or
Mhm.
speak to my financial planner. I fully tell them to go speak to my financial planner.
Yeah.
I don't have time to waste if a caseworker say, I don't know what you're doing. I think you're scamming the system. No, your stupid butt didn't read the policy.
Yep.
And I have to say that in the most professional, calm way so that security doesn't take me out of the building.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Exactly. The exit door.
Pretty
Well,
much. Like,
there's a lot of banks too that actually don't know that much about uh the the RDSP. Like I was able to get mine when I was about 40-ish or so. So I was kind of late to the game.
Mhm.
But that was when I could afford, like you have to have like about $5,000 or so to open it, right? So it's a kind of a big ask. Like it was me and my wife at the time, we put $2,500 each in. And so it's a big ask for a lot of people on disability assistance to say, like I was working at the time, so we were able to do it. But you know, other than that first contribution, I wasn't able to contribute anything more. But at least it's grown to, I think it's like over $20,000 now with, like I said, that only that one contribution.
Wow.
So
Good.
it would have been nice to contribute more, but my biggest point is that a lot of the banks don't seem to be as knowledgeable as you think they would be on how it functions.
They need to be
well,
more educated.
part of
Yeah.
the thing with banks and people in financial services industries, they think disabled people don't understand it. So the
Yeah, maybe
ableism in
that's
finance
yeah.
is bigger than just ableism outside of finance.
Ah.
And I'm experiencing that because I know all the accounts. So financial advisors are trying to recruit me in their company. And then they're like, I don't know if I should really have you working with disabled clients. I go, I wasn't always disabled. I had a six-figure career. I
Mhm.
Mhm.
was making $5,000 American dollars working from home when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is where swear words are in my head right now.
Yeah.
Um, and I know we're on YouTube. I'm trying to keep the language.
Yeah.
But
That's okay. We have a swear jar.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, yeah, we're gonna have to
Awesome.
use a swear jar. Just put $2,000 in there for me right now.
Yeah.
Um, but it's their ignorance and missed opportunity. And then when they become disabled, do you want to get treated that way? Like
Yeah.
because now with my financial planner and we're managing my accounts and he has to talk to fund managers to manage all the mutual funds and segregate funds in my accounts because I have an RDSP account. There's $125,000 in mine over 5 years. But they treat me like I'm not capable of managing my investments by myself to make a decision. So then I ask my financial planner, I go, do they need me to get a lawyer to tell them I can do it?
Right.
Wow.
Because I'm not swear words again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not letting nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah.
The Twisted Sister song is back in my head. Okay.
We're not gonna take it.
So,
We're not gonna take it.
see,
Yeah.
I started it. I'm so
No.
sorry.
I'm singing now, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, so with you, like, how, okay, you put in $5,000 in it. Was that this what it said on the letter of a statement of entitlement, or you just decided to put that amount in for the
I
RDSP when you had it?
For me, I think it was a requirement. It was $2,500 each. That's what we were told, so that's what we put in. So it was a $5,000 investment between the two of us. And yeah, so that's what I did, and I was able to grow it to 20,000 now. But yeah,
Hmm.
Because,
Interesting.
and that's the thing. So the registered disability savings plan is directly tied to when you're disabled, your
hmm
income taxes, and catching up the carry forward contributions before you turn 49.
yeah,
Mhm.
So this year for me, if I deposit $1,950, the government deposits 4,400 in disability grants. And then based on my tax return, they add $1,000 of disability savings bonds. But the
yeah,
previous years, I wish I had the little papers as a demonstration. I had to deposit $5,000 one year, $4,000 one year, $3,000 one year to catch up on the past
okay,
years, but my disability tax credit started in 2008 to 2025. And then the end of 2025, I reapply for the disability tax credit. And then from it being reapproved again till I turned 49 in 9 years now, then I put all my money in my accounts. And now,
yeah,
finally, after 5 years of training my family, when they give me money, I put that in my account. But if you don't have that support system and knowledge of the
yeah.
RDSP guide that's on the website, you're
Mhm.
not sure how to build a strategy. Like, okay, great. The banks don't know it. That's not your problem. Like because financial institute, the big five that have the RDSPs, they're just a revolving door of advisors who get licensed and move on to their career. But you managing your finances, that is your number one job.
Yeah.
And that part, I get it. It's not accessible to a lot of people. They feel like it's complicated and all those things, but you have to figure out a way of doing it or get people like I easily can teach it, or you find a financial advisor that works with you to navigate those things. Because,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And it's because, like I said, I only was able to contribute the one time, so I'm I don't know how it should have worked. Um, but
Yeah,
uh,
I know. You
but
did what you
but
did what you could at the time
but
based on the
Yeah.
information you had at the time.
but my question is, do the federal government contributions, do they f- do they backload it with higher payments at the end of it, or are the payments equalized?
I
Do you know
think
what I
they're
mean?
equalized, aren't they?
So that part I don't know because I get all of mine.
Oh,
I
okay.
do exactly what my so the statement of entitlement, RDSP account letter that comes around in February, whatever it said on there, I did it.
Oh,
I did. So you would have to call the CRA to see. But then, are you under the age of 49?
Like, well, no, I'm not anymore. But my metaphor, I guess I could use a metaphor. I don't know if you like hockey. It doesn't matter. It could be any sport athlete. But you know how a lot of managers will backload a contract and have the end of the contract to either be more expensive or less expensive
hmm.
as the athlete ages.
Interesting.
I was wondering if it's set up the same way on the
Hmm.
RDSP, if they front load or back load it
So
Hmm.
differently.
the RDSP, from what it sounds like, there's a 10-year window of catch-up contributions.
Right.
Then ideally they put all of them in before you turn 49.
Oh.
So, and it's like the rules in it are very strict. There's no flexibility in it, is what I found.
Mhm.
So, if you're over 49 and you have your RDSP and it's invested, your best bet is just to make sure it's invested. But then you can still contribute until 59, I think. I have to go back and check. But there you can still, because the maximum contributions of it is $200,000. So you may
Mhm.
not get the grants and bonds, the matching contributions, the free government money up to $90,000 because
Yeah.
they split it $20,000 as bonds and then 70,000 is grants based on being eligible and based on your tax return. It's the most annoying plan in the planet.
Yeah, they stopped
Then
at 49 then, yeah. The
Yeah.
government contributions, they stopped at
and
49, but you
we're
still,
the only one in the world that I can find that has a plan like this that matches your contributions for being disabled.
wow.
So like if we look at all the programs for disabled people, like the able program in United States,
Mhm.
they only give it to people that are under the age of 30,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
but they don't match, but they let
Yeah.
them save their own money in it. And then everyone else, you kind of just open an investment account and put the money in.
Mhm.
And then UK or whatever, they'll tell you yes or no. And if it's a no and there's an overpayment, you pay them back. Like
Mhm.
it's a weird, like we have
Mhm.
similarities across the world in programs, but each one of them tries to copy another and change a few things.
Yeah, tweak it up.
And then when we find out another country's better, we think we can move, but we can't because we're disabled because we'll take all their resources.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like you basically, yes, the RDSP is a good investment account. Yes. But there's four other accounts. Plus, you can open a taxable account and just put money in there, take it out whenever. Like somebody posted on the ODSP Reddit that they invested in single stocks. They got their account up to $32,000 and they're worried about ODSP clawing it back for income.
Mm.
Mhm.
Again, if you're not the majority of people in the disability office doing it, the caseworkers would think you're doing something wrong. So then
Or
you have to be 100% educated in what you're doing so that when you're doing it, you could bring all the evidence and receipts. Like I literally tell them, talk to my financial advisor, or I say, go back and check section 4.8, or
Mhm.
go back and check treatment of assets or treatment of income. I tell them to go check back their policy that they're supposed to remember because the policy fully says this is the guide for staff at ODSP, but it's available online. And then now I download everything from that website. I put it in a chat GBT and chat GBT builds me a strategy,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Like we have way more resources than ever before to fight back to an incompetent,
Yeah.
whatever caseworker. Yes, swear words in my head.
Well, you mentioned the tax-free savings account. Now,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
our listeners that don't know, explain what the tax-free savings account is and how that works.
So it's a registered government account of Canada, and all the money you put in there grows tax free, withdraws tax free, as long as you're not trying to use it for day trading. So some people open their tax free savings account to be day traders. Don't do that. You pay taxes. Don't do it. Just leave it. Just put the money in and leave it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then it was opened, what, 2009 to now. The contribution room in it rolls over. It adds on. So my total contribution room is about 90. No, it went up. It's $100,000 I can put in total into that account. And if I go over that amount, then I pay penalties and fees on it because I'm over the contribution limit.
Mhm.
But I know from practicing, I'm a registered disability savings plan, being over $100,000, the compounding growth on that every 7 years is supposed to double. So now I'm trying to get most of my accounts over $100,000. So not only do I exit ODSP, but I'm retiring with dignity with my disability after the age of 64.
Mhm.
And yeah, you have to have an income source of income or family willing to put the money in those accounts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you don't, yeah, your only option really is to go play the lottery and see what you win
Yeah.
and be self-control of playing the lottery. So when if you do hit big, whether it's bingo, scratch tickets, any of the lotteries out there, you have to do it in a self-control way. Because if you go in thinking, oh, this paycheck will win my lottery, and then you spend all your ODSP money, you don't pay rent or food or
Oof.
groceries or all that stuff, you're
Yeah.
screwed in the foot. But I honestly think now, when I really think about it, take $10 out of your ODSP check and pay the lottery.
Well, we were talking
Like
about
once a
we
month.
we were talking about Greek mythology earlier, and I'll extend that to the Achilles heel. The Achilles heel of this whole thing is that the truth of it is that a lot of people with disabilities, like even in my case, like I said, I was only able to afford the one contribution. There's a lot of people that won't even be able to afford that. So yes, it's a great thing because it's free money, right? Let's acknowledge that it's free money. It's free money, so it's great. But what percentage of people with disabilities actually have the extra money to contribute to it? That's the Achilles heel of the whole thing. But I mean, it's a great thing. The thing that disappoints me is that it's not really freely available to as many as it should be, right? Because it's a cash, it's like almost a charity dinner where you have to pay the $2,500 plate dinner,
Yeah.
to the entrance fee to get in.
Yeah.
You know,
Or,
once you pay the entrance fee to get in, you're golden. But that
yeah, you got your entrance door to come on in. Come on.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, everything I told you is on the Government of Canada website or the Ontario government website, or it's in books at the library. Or like if you go to the library and look at business investments books and look for the Canadian books, they're all there. So it's not like the information is hidden. I could tell you where to go find it. I can even tell you what library that does a course on financial literacy to teach you these accounts. And then I'm calling out financial people to talk about disability. I will show up in their event and say, "Hey, you're missing people with disabilities." And to the point where I get them very upset and very uncomfortable till they cry. So,
Yeah.
because and then some of them will contact me, "Hey, they want my information about disability research." I go, "That's great. You can pay my consultation fee and we can have a discussion." And then they turn around and act like, "Oh, that's not really worth my time." Then don't
Yeah.
bother and wasting mine.
Yeah.
Just don't get them to read the policies. Oh, no.
And this is all I talk about on my YouTube channel. It's how to invest with the disability to the point where I'm getting DMs from people in New Zealand reaching out to me.
Well,
So,
why don't we
no, it's
back?
not available
Yeah.
individually, but it's also your awareness. What do you want your life to look like? How do you learn? How do you go seek for information? Who do you ask for information?
Yeah.
Are you asking the right questions? Are you only taking the person's? I never take anybody's advice in a disability office because they
Yeah.
don't care about me. Found my financial advisor. I interviewed multiple people who are financial advisors,
Yeah.
reading books in the bookstore. Like there's a certain time of chapters you can go into a bookstore, read the book, and not buy the book, depending on how this bookstore was set up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the information is there. Okay, great. So then the books need to be audiobooks. Audible is there. Like then the library has audiobooks. Like we're acting like the information is so secretly hidden we have to go through an Indiana Jones mission to go find them. No, we don't.
Yeah.
And then many of the entrepreneurship employment support programs inside of Ontario Disability Parole Program, they have financial literacy programs. Wood Green has one. St. Christopher House has one. Elizabeth Fry has one. The amount of charities that have them, and if they don't have them, if I'm in that charity, in their meeting, I tell them to have one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then United Way, Prosper Canada, they have financial literacy programs. They're out there, but they're not going to be dropping at your door. And even if they are, you may throw away the flyer because you think it's not for you.
Yeah. I wondered if you wanted to actually, we probably could have done this at the very beginning, but I wondered if you wanted to circle back and because I mean, I think people that are, our loyal listeners to the podcast know that you've been with the podcast for a while, but then you kind of took a break. And so let's catch up to kind of some of the big projects that you've been working on yourself, kind of behind the scenes in the hiatus of coming on the podcast again.
Yeah.
What are the big ticket items that you're working on right
And
now?
let me go backwards. So the last one, March of Dimes, the advocacy toolkit that runs a gift, email me wanting my YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And at the time, I was like freaking out. I'm like, what are you gonna do with my YouTube channel? It's not that great. It's very choppy. I cuss a lot in my YouTube channel.
Mhm.
But they know this. I'm consistently talking about this all the time. To the point where I may or may not have ruined my relationship because this is all I talk about.
Hmm.
And then there's a Shea Community Foundation for Black Disabled Canadians. They're now adding a um, Black Disabled Coalition, and then they wanted me to be on it for entrepreneurship because they had a knowledge series where they had speakers teaching different topics, and I spoke on entrepreneurship. That I'm waiting for that to be on their YouTube channel so I can share
My
it.
my friend Kent was on the call with you on one of those, by the way. My friend Kent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see. I
Yeah,
see Kent
Kent
virtually a
Kent
lot.
Lofsgaard,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see Kent a lot virtually, and Kent is very, very smart.
He's
Oh yeah.
incredibly smart, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredibly smart.
Yeah.
He's scientifically smart. That is a
Yes.
interesting combination of
Yeah.
like, okay, wait a minute. So like in my head, I'm like, how come we're not making more money? Like it's
I
just
know. Well, he actually is making quite a lot of money, a lot of money right now. But
You know,
okay. That's good.
and then
That's good to
maybe
know.
when we get a chance, also we'll dive into the federal candidate debate. What a debacle that situation was. Oh
We
my God.
can. I just it's
Yeah.
not. It's this sore subject for me because the
Yeah.
federal debate doesn't even talk about black and
No, I
disabled.
noticed that. It was
Mhm.
so wrong. Like it was just they silenced everybody out, everybody. It was just
Yeah.
like they
And
asked
the
people.
panel, like,
Yeah.
like really, like I counted three black people, me included,
Yeah.
two in the virtual Zoom room, and the one lady I saw in the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes you have to count yourself 3 times.
yeah. Yeah. They asked for people's input, and what do? Silence them out. Wow,
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. And
Well,
then finish.
I don't think they were prepared for how many people are on the Zoom. There's 375.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Exactly.
a
So
lot.
375 people attended the Zoom meeting. Then there's people in the room. So people in the room look like about 40 people in the room.
Mhm.
And then remember, conservatives never show up. Quebec Bloc Quebecois wasn't there.
Mhm.
Liberal, she was sick, so she tuned in on Zoom. So then they had to make sure she got to answer all the questions, even though she's reading a script and she has no confidence in her at all. See this that part I don't think I said on my YouTube channel, but
Yeah.
because no, like she was. So her name is Leanne Coulter,
Mhm.
right? And there's a point in there. She's like, "Oh, I'll never make it to finance ministry." Really? You have no confidence in your ability to
Wow.
run in your party whatsoever? I can do your job, and I won't
Wow.
because I'm naked on the internet and I swear all the damn time.
Yeah.
Like the level of you have to have this level of confidence to
Yeah.
be in a political party and speak in the media for
Hmm.
the party, and you're gonna be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I don't have that Take your ER, depressive. You know how there's ER and Tigger
Yeah,
Hmm.
in
yeah, yeah.
Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, take it over there. Nobody needs to hear that if you're running for the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
exactly.
you want us to vote for that party. You need to be the most excited person for your party when you go out there and speak to the public.
You got to build up your confidence. If you don't have your confidence
Yes.
Did
in yourself,
did
then
you see Carney the last the last kind of rally that he was at? He
yeah.
got
No.
he got heckled. He got heckled really badly, and instead of like he just took it. Like he just stood there and took it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I mean, I wish we could find the clip and run it. Like, we don't really have the time to do that right now. Maybe you can find it on your phone, Brent. I don't know.
Yeah.
But but uh, but yeah, he just stood there and took it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I was him, I would have like called the hecklers out. Like, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. Like, if you're like, say, if you're like a comedian, that's what like a lot of comedians do that, right? They'll call them out.
I mean, the American
Um,
would. Who'd run in America right now? He would.
Yeah, but because he ended up looking kind of foolish, honestly,
I
because
found it.
he just stood there and just took it, and he looked foolish. That was
I
the
mean,
thing. That
like,
was the thing.
it's a toss up because you're running around the country. That's already a big job,
Hmm.
complicated, stressful. I get it. And then you have to represent the country everywhere you go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But they're running the country for everything we have that we pay our taxes for.
Yeah.
Healthcare, housing, immigrant, like all the stuff that we have that we usually call a 1-800 number to deal with customer service, to deal with a government program, or in line at the passport office waiting forever to get our passport. And I think sometimes we take some of our stuff for granted because we think it's just supposed to function quickly and fast and they're nice to us.
Mhm.
We're people.
Mhm.
We're people trying to run a country for other people. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you stay on hold for hours.
and then
Can I sing again? Can
we
I
have
sing
to
again?
trust the people to go do it
Sure.
again because it's not like we rotate every citizen in the country to run the country. That would be a whole different system.
People,
If you got called up your number
people,
to run the
people.
country this year, that would be a different system. If we had a lottery system where every citizen is automatically in the election pool and the island, when they put their faces on the island to get
Yeah,
picked,
yeah,
All right. Yeah.
if we had that, it would change everything.
Yeah.
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 I found the
You
clip. Yep,
win.
I found the
Well, I
clip.
don't know. Is it long? Like, do we have time
No,
to play
no,
it?
actually, it's only a minute,
Yeah.
12 seconds. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's just worth it to just to
yeah,
see. Like I felt bad for him, I did. But
yeah.
I'm thinking to
Uh,
myself, like, if I was there, like, would I just sit there and take it? Like
oh, hell,
I don't know. I don't think I would, but he does, and it's like it doesn't look good. But
no,
anyway, try to play it. Yeah.
sure, sure. All right, here we go.
President Trump's trade war has literally ruptured the global economy. And I'm afraid our
You can't hear all of it. Yeah, it doesn't really translate.
thank you. Thank you. I can do it. I can do it. We're gonna do it. We can do it. That's the question for the next 2.5 weeks. We need to do it because the you know you know what you know what one of the things that is what should people look for when
Yeah, you see that he gets completely derailed there, and
Yeah,
he just takes it, and it's just like it doesn't look good. It doesn't look.
Because he doesn't have
Yeah,
a voice that commands
yeah,
hmm
silence.
yeah,
yeah. I don't know. He just, for me, my opinion, like, is I don't know. I just don't find him approachable. I mean, that's just my view. Some people,
But none of them are.
none of
yeah,
them are.
yeah,
That's the correct answer. Yes.
And then
yeah.
TikTok had Jagmeet Singh doing a get ready with me video when he puts his turban on his head and he
I
has
saw that
long
long hair.
long
It was just like wrapping.
Fabio hair.
Like Rapunzel. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like at first I thought it was a different person until he started talking, and then when his head was finished being wrapped, I'm like, oh, it's you. Like,
Hmm.
but the amount of comments are in that TikTok of Jagmeet Singh
mm.
doing his hair turban wrap up.
Oh my.
And yeah, you listen, you put like it was a weird wait, this guy runs our country and he has all this hair? Like
Yeah.
so-
He wanted to be prime minister, but now apparently he says that no. He realizes that he can't be prime minister. But the polls are the polls. I just tell people just to get out there and vote. Don't worry about the polls, what they say. You vote for who you want. Get out there and vote
yeah,
to
I mean,
the election.
voting is a weird thing
Yeah.
because if you don't pay attention to what each government does
Mhm.
for what you access in the like your city, your country, your province, all those like I know I call Christian Wongtam. I have a problem with ODSP. Somebody in your office would talk to me for 90 minutes. When they knock on my door doing canvassing,
That's
they're
great.
talking, they're
Yeah.
taking notes on the clipboard because this is a party that actually listens. But then if you like, oh yeah, we have a party, I think it's this person. Like when my family was calling me for an issue with the family funeral and they wanted to know if they could bring up the wife over to Canada to get the pension, the CPP pension, and I had to go look it up online. I'm like, no, she's never been in the country long enough to be eligible for it. Why are we wasting our time to see if an MPP is going to help her when she legally didn't follow all the rules?
Yeah.
And my family was like, oh, I thought, well, you didn't do the instructions. Like,
Oops.
it's the same thing when you're emailing the different parties. Like, I emailed everybody, then they send me this automatic message saying that if it's federal or provincial or city, you have to call this number. Like, there's a procedure in place that if you didn't remember civics class in high school, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, wonder go vote.
Well,
Or
like here,
social studies in elementary
yeah.
school that taught about the election. That's how I learned, because my school in elementary school for grade 5, grade 6 was a voting poll. So they had our class go down to the gym to act like pretend vote.
Yeah. Oh, neat.
Like they gave us like a different piece of paper. We were able to vote. We were like 10, 11, but that's how I know how to do it. So then when I came home and I'm talking to my parents and my grandma always votes for liberal. My mom like, yeah, she'll vote, but she's not interested. So then I begged her to go vote before it closed. And then kids yelled to go vote NDP, and I think she did because she didn't know what she was participating in. And then same thing with my friend. The issue she has with Wheel-Trans for TTC, the wheelchair bus that picks you up in a 4-hour window to get to your appointments. She complains about it all the time. And I say, you need to contact your MPP in your neighborhood. And I will look it up, the postal code, tell her who her number is, send it to her, and she won't do it. So if you don't actually use the government system we have as a citizen living here to voice your concerns, voice your complaints, voice your frustration, and make a nice ChatGPT complaint letter with no swear words. That's what I do.
At least try.
But you're quite right. I mean, it depends on the MPP you have or the MP you have, because like I've lived in Newton here for about 20 years now, and I have to say the track record for the candidates here, whether it's provincial or federal, they're kind of like weak sauce, you know, like I don't really even want to approach them because well, the one time I did approach my provincial MLA, like the MLAs here are the equivalent of the MPPs in Ontario. And the one time I did approach my MLA here provincially, he really was zero help to me. You know, like he pretended like he was going to help me,
But did
then
you write another letter to tell
but
them
that
that?
yes, I did. I wrote several letters. I wrote several letters, and they were all systematically ignored. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Filed
So-
under G.
Yeah. So it really depends if you have a really strong voice. I mean, we always say you know, Mike Morris is a great strong voice. You know, Benita Zarrillo is a great strong. I mean, she gets a lot of. We always say she gets a lot of bows and arrows, but she's a very strong voice. You know, but you know, you really need those strong voices that really care about, you know,
They're passionate about
representing the people that
from different
voted them
parties,
in.
different
Yeah.
ones that are quite passionate on what they stand for. And you're right. You know, I mean, there's a lot of them that get bows and arrows. Yeah, did they make the wrong decision? Yeah, they probably did. But they learn going forward. You know, they try to stand the ground the best way they can. But sometimes the party politics gets involved in their decision making of what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. I always say that, you know, a person just votes for who they feel is best suited in their community. That's going to best represent what their questions, what their needs are. For me, yeah, like I've got a couple of them in our provincial election that we recently had. They were knocking at my door. I had them phoning up, can you buzz me into your building? And sure. And I thought it was actually the party that I was supposed to be allowing in. They both had the same name. The person held the contact person that had reached me. They both had the same name. So I said,
Oh,
sure,
wow.
I'll let you in. Well, whoops, it was the other party. And then I could hear my neighbors down the hall yelling and screaming, get the out of the I'm like, I'm not going to say it, but get that, F out of the building.
Yeah.
I think, I just let that person in. Oops, then I realized, oops, oopsie.
Yeah, wow.
But at the same time, it's democracy, though, right? I mean, person can vote for who they want to vote for. But sometimes I find, I think people get so discouraged, and maybe Minnie, you can talk about this too. As I find people get so discouraged with the representative for the party, the MPP or MP or MLA in BC. That's MLA, but to represent their needs. And then when they get in, they'll say, yeah, and then they get in, they do a 360, and they do complete the opposite. And some people go, well, why should I get out there and vote? What's your take on that? Have you heard?
This is the only system we have.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're gonna be, what's the other option? Dictatorship.
Yeah.
And lottery.
That's true.
We're not doing those other systems.
Exactly.
So for the system we have, yes, it's broken, but we need to use it so bad. We use the system so badly that they change it. So how my parents never threw anything out until it was absolutely broken, destroyed, can't turn on, can't function, can't hit it till it turned back on at the TV or whatever, rabbit ears.
Yeah, that's all.
So we like everything we have that's not working, we have to use it the way it is right now. Like the financial system, like, okay, there's not a lot of financial advisors teaching disability financial planning. I found a handful of them. I bookmark all of them when I find them. But the traditional way of finance is still the way they teach it. So like how there's new math and there's old math for kids in school.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever system you're taught to learn it really, really well, then change it. This is why I read the policy so much of Ontario Disability Support Program, because I read it so much. I know every possible answer there is within the policy. The things I don't know are passport programs, rent-a-geared housing, anything that's not a direct how I live with a disability. Like I'm not institutionalized. I don't have parents doing my decision making. But everything is independently for me and how I was treated through the system of disability benefits. I use everything in there. Like how I got on ODSP, and at the time the law said if you made any money, they claw you back at 50 cents on the dollar. Then they changed it in 2013 to where you make $200 and above that is 50% deduction. And now it's $1,000 you can make. And then after $1,000, they reduce your ODSP by 75%. People need to know what the current law is and the current rule when it changes, so you can maximize what that is. So then when you know what's broken in it, you know what to write down in the letter contacting the political parties there. But if we don't know how it's supposed to function in the instruction manual, like when we do job training and they teach you this is a procedure of policies we do, and then as you get promoted, then you can make suggestions and changes to the like depending on what role you have. That, like me working at McDonald's and I want to put spinach in the folded egg, they'll get mad at me. Unless they make a different omelet with spinach in the menu. But you have to get a certain point in the ladder of the system to get changes done, or you make so much money that you end up being like Elon Musk and you change an election. I don't know if it's true, but the rumor is that he did it. And it's because he had enough money to go in and influence people to change things. So now when I look at my income coming in and I look at my donations and charities and things like that, I will donate to political parties. I can set aside a certain amount of money every month to go to my political party and be a donor. Then when I go write them the letter, I remind them I'm a donor. Okay, great. Not everyone individually could do that. So then we need to pool our money together and donate to the party. So like there's all these disability coalitions. How many of them come together and put $2 or $3 every year or every meeting to donate to a party? You can donate $25 to a party, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's not like, you have to donate 25,000. You could start with 25 and say the coalition's been donating to you for the next 15 years, $25 a month. What's happening? Like we had that evidence and had that data that we are a consistent donor. Here's our receipts. How many years we've been donating to your party, and we feel like you're failing us as a donor and a constituent. They listen to you. It's completely different. I saw it happen when Christian Wong Tam got reelected, and I'm there, and she fed everybody. It was free food. Then I bought my drinks. Then they had like an auction of who's going to donate money, and people writing on with a clipboard. And you either had your debit card or credit card to donate money. And if you want to donate more, you make an appointment to the office to donate more money. This is
Yeah.
a system we have. Stop trying to make something else up. The rules are already in place.
Hmm.
Well, I was going to say, I think the
And you can't cheat the system if you don't know what you're
yeah,
cheating in.
I was going to say the problem a little bit is twofold though. One is I think politicians assume that people with disabilities don't vote. And the second thing
Hmm.
is that people that do vote is only like 45%.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
underestimate us. That is their
Hmm.
problem.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
underestimate me and judge me? That is your
Yeah.
problem.
Hmm.
It really
Exactly.
pisses me off all the time. Like well, every year we have a federal election, or every year we have a provincial election, and they have voter turnout for the percentage, and it's like, are you kidding me? Only 45% turned out. I mean, that's kind of the average, right? 45. So that means like the majority of people did not vote. That's disgusting
And there's
because
also too, so people that are unhoused, they're legally allowed to vote. I
yeah,
Yeah.
of
was there in the
course. Yeah.
training for Ontario election. They're supposed to have unhoused people vote. They just need to
Hmm.
make sure that their address is assigned to like a shelter or a church or something, as long
Hmm.
as they can have their ID.
Yes.
But then polling stations are turning them away. So they're discriminated against in the polling system when they're legally not
Oh,
supposed to. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't work at Ontario elections anymore. I literally quit the job after I did the 5 hours of training, but I still remember my training and
yeah.
I know unhoused people, disability people are supposed to be accommodated to vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they had it where the polling stations either go to the people that are unhoused, get them to vote, and they bring their voting ballots to the polling station.
Mhm.
Okay. It's
Like
interesting.
I know that it's like the way my memory is, I will remember the freaking detail to the point where it's just stuck in my head forever.
Yeah.
So that we have we with the you said we can vote if we're unhoused, then your polling station is not doing it. Then we need to contact Elections Canada and Elections Ontario and call them out on their fucking yes, sorry.
It's okay. It's
Swear
okay.
jar, swear jar.
It's okay. Hey, it's all good. It's all
Yes. Now we're up $10,000 in my swear jar. But like
good.
seriously, we live in this country Turtle Island and we're treated like we don't exist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's useful information to help people navigate the voting system too, right? Some people maybe didn't even know that, Minnie, and
Yeah, I get people don't know that,
yeah,
but
helpful. No.
the amount of ways you could find out something. Like remember
Mhm.
I said like you can find out a lot. I got hired for the job, I did the training, I still remember the information. That information didn't go anywhere because I stopped working there. I'm now using that information to talk on YouTube or talk on my Twitter or wherever I can. Or maybe I put a flyer in my building. Like that. Or maybe I ask my building, can I put a table in my lobby? Like
Oh, yeah,
this
imagine.
whole idea that
Mhm.
we're waiting for someone to bang us on the head with the information, that's not going to happen.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, exactly. And I mean, when we talked about the voting, I mean, people coming out canvassing. I mean, imagine if I would have let all those parties inside my building at the same time, me and Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, who let you in the building? Oh, he did.
It'd be
Oh,
like Gladiator.
yeah,
Well, I mean, the way my building is, if you're leaving the building, someone comes in the building. Like it's just
yeah,
how it is.
that's how it is.
But and then my building has this annoying habit of leaving the back door open when it's hot and
Yeah.
heat
Mhm.
waves. But this is the system we have. We
Yeah.
know elections coming. They have to go out there, get people to vote, know what parties are being run and elected, and there's a season to be
Hmm.
elected. Then they could run you like it's really weird how the bigger parties have their advertisements, but
Mm.
if they really look at their budget, they can run a Facebook ad for $5 a day.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's not that much to run ads online.
Yeah.
Like
And
your
I mean,
YouTube channel is going to have ads as we talk.
we should
Some of those ads are just regular people who bought the ad on the
yeah.
YouTube channel because YouTube let them do it in Google Ads in their
Yeah.
account. And then your Google account right now has a Google Ads account. Go look and see what it is. Go see how much stuff charge to
Hmm.
promote your channel or promote whatever you're doing in it. It doesn't cost that much.
And we should let the listeners know, Brent, that you and I are always actively inviting politicians on the podcast.
Hmm.
I know and you know that we're kind of the little podcast, right? I mean, we're like the what is it, the little engine that could, we're kind of like
Yeah, we did.
that,
Yep.
and maybe that's why the politicians dismiss us, but we're always inviting both federal and provincial politicians on the podcast, and whether they choose to accept our invitation or not, I mean, that's up to them. But
The option's always there. The door's open. The door's
yeah.
not hit you from in the rear. I mean,
Mhm.
because the invitation's out there just to hear the voices of people with lived experience, disabilities, and what do we want to see changed in the system going forward? How do we modernize things and give people the tools to better themselves in society, contribute into society. There's so many ways, and basically Minnie dives into all these things right away, and it's about educating the politicians too, and I mean make it a better country across the board. I mean, systems are all broken. I mean, we can fix them though, but we need the politicians to be on everybody's side, on the side that is a universal way. I mean, probably impossible to do, but but be there to listen, rather than just running with that script. Well, it has to be this way. It has to be this way. No, it doesn't have to be any way, right? It's about listening to your constituents in your ridings, and if you're voting for your MLA, your MPP, your MP, your city council, whoever it may be, they're supposed to be there as elected officials to listen to you. I mean, they're elected by us to represent our needs, and that's why I want people to understand is that we vote for them to represent our needs, right?
Mhm.
So if the system's broken, why is it broken? We need to look at those aspects too. So I'm not telling everybody who to vote for federally, because with our upcoming election on April 28th, 2025,
It's going to come up fast, yeah.
yeah,
I was wondering, we're getting close to the end of the hour, so I was wondering if you wanted
already.
to,
Wow.
yeah, I was wondering if you wanted to have kind of a last word or something to focus on at the end of the
Yeah.
show. There are many, I mean, for myself, like, I've talked about this a fair bit on the podcast. Is that, and you can disagree with me, it's fine, but I always kind of like to draw the parallel between disability discrimination and racial discrimination. And I wanted to get your feedback on, like, the last couple of podcasts I've made the point that there's a lot of stratification, stratification in disability discrimination, where it's like, if you're on this stratification, you deserve this, and if you're on this like, there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy
Mm.
of discrimination, and I didn't know if you saw that yourself, Minnie,
Mm.
if you can acknowledge that there's a kind of a stratification of discrimination or not. Like, I see it personally. I don't know if you, I don't know
So
if you do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
it hit me yesterday. So yesterday, I'm doing a new training to be a money coach, and they have these different affinity groups.
Oh yeah.
And then originally, when they announced the affinity groups, they said they're open to everybody. Pop in when like the schedule allows. So I did. So one of them was the LGBTQ group, and my reason of going in there was I get a lot of clients or future clients or potential clients that identify as LGBTQ, but I'm not, and I'm wondering how do I help them
Mm.
because they hear my YouTube channel, they hear my content, they see me at a networking event, and then they want me to coach them on their finances.
Mm.
And I was like, but I'm not. And I'll say something that'll offend them. I know that. That's just because my belief system is not really about the queer life and gay
Mhm.
lifestyle and all those things. Because how I grew up, religion, me reading the Bible, and
Yeah.
like it doesn't fit. But these people need my help on the disability benefits
Mm.
or working in the adult industry. Hope I don't pull my microphone. Um, that. So great. You identify as transgender, you're reaching out to me to help me with finances and disability benefits. I know exactly what the answer is. And then you're only talking to me about your queer identity. And like, I don't get it. Like, I don't. I'm a female in a black female body, and that's all I know. Like,
Yeah.
anything I check, it's female. And then I have to check like 6,000 boxes before I get to female.
Yeah.
Mm.
And for me, that is just irritating when I see it as biologically in chemistry and science. There's male and female. That's it. There's no in between in science.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't exist if there was in between. I mean, we would, but like it would be different. And I learned that the segregation that we thought was gone from slavery, no, it never went away.
Yeah.
The segregation never went to, we call it different things. We try to act like it's for everyone's good. It never went away. And the only reason now is trying to cross over is with the neutral bathrooms. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
need anybody with a penis in my bathroom.
No, 100%.
That.
Exactly.
And then, like, because for me, it's a safety issue. It's
Oh,
not,
for sure.
just go use your washroom. You could, but I don't
Yeah.
need you pull your pants down with that thing in my washroom.
Yeah, 100%.
Because men for me are the number one predator as a woman with a body in a woman body. And then if you're disabled trying to use the washroom and then there's a predator in the washroom because maybe the washroom equal for everybody, nobody's safe.
Yeah.
We already have that already. The only times you go into a male washroom and they attack each other.
It
So
sounds like,
no,
yeah, it sounds like you and I,
discrimination's always there. And
yeah.
it's there in a way that we're okay. We only need to talk about BIPOC groups or LGBT groups or women only groups or Muslim groups. We're always separating each other. We
Yeah.
never came together.
Mhm.
We've never come together in anything. Then we separate based on income. Then we separate based on neighborhood. Then we separate based on credit score. Then we separate based on,
Housing.
pick anything. We
Yeah.
separate them on everything.
It's like housing. You
And
can
then vegetarians and
guys are
people
more-
that eat meat. Really? You're worried about what food I'm eating and you're going to separate me because I'm a veg and I choose to eat pork?
Well,
Like we're separating people on every aspect of our lives all the time.
yeah.
And we use it as
100%.
reasons to argue with each other
Yeah.
all the time.
I know.
Yeah, it sounds like you and
frustrating.
it sounds like you and I are like very aligned, Minnie, because that's the number one complaint I always launch towards diversity, equity, and inclusion is that the really what diversity, equity, and inclusion does. I mean, in theory, it's a great idea. In theory, it's a great idea.
But we don't practice it.
But
We-
when they put
like-
when they put it in
Yeah.
practice, it's all effed up. Because it's all it's doing is putting bigger targets on you and saying, you have to tick this box, you have to tick this box, you have to tick this,
Yeah.
and
I don't want to take 2 hours to fill out a form that should take
I
me
know,
5 minutes.
and the
Totally.
point I made before on the podcast when it was Martin Luther King Day, I remember I said like the difference between Martin Luther King's definition of diversity, equity, and inclusion was that he said that everybody was equal under the eyes of God. Everybody's equal under the eyes of God. But the diversity, equity, and inclusion that we have today is like you're only equal if you tick a number of boxes.
Because they're different. Because
Yeah,
like
they're-
if we look
they're
at
completely
creation, yes, we're created
Yeah.
equally from a creator. Okay, great. But the people are doing discrimination. It's not
Exactly.
spiritually, the discrimination not spiritually happening.
Right.
It's the human experience that does the
It's
discrimination.
not God's fault.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
because the cemetery across the street from my house, I decided to walk through it to break superstition and whatever. Everybody over there is dead since the 1800s. There's a government grave over there that's managed by the government from somebody from the 1800s called the father of Federation or something like that. And his grave is gigantic. I haven't seen all the cemetery. It's only half the cemetery. But the cemetery is a good indicator. We're all going to end up there. We're going to be beside people we don't know. We're going to be buried on top of people we don't know. And there's nothing we can do about it because we're dead. So when I walk in the cemetery, it's a good indicator that everything outside of the cemetery is not that important.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. Yes.
It's really not that important.
Well, we should all figure
I
it
mean,
out.
it's important when you're living, but it's not important near the end of your life because,
You can't do anything about it.
well, no, we can't. And then whatever's left behind is left for the living to use, and we're not using it properly.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I my challenge for all the politicians that are listening and anybody else is that let's figure all this shit out before we get to the other side. Like I think that
But we're
I think
not.
that's our I think
Even
that's
though
our,
we're like,
I think that's our
ideally,
job though. I think that's our
that's the
job is to figure it
goal.
out.
To figure it
Yeah.
out before we're not living anymore. But we never actually figure it out.
Exactly.
I guess that's the key,
That's why
right?
I always say is to be proactive. But the
And the
problem,
only reason I realize we don't really figure it out because what's in the Bible. And I
yeah,
know it's
Yeah.
not a religious show and all that, but there's something in the Bible when I started reading it. I was like, wait a minute, we've always been fucked up.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
yep.
Yeah.
From from the minute we are no longer living in the Garden of Eden, we've been screwed.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's just
I always find that the politicians, from whatever angle, is always excuses of delays and why the reasons not to do it. I mean, I'll have to get you on another segment, Minnie. We'll dive into the CDB. I think a lot of people will be probably wanting to tune into that episode. I mean, we'll have the swear jar ready and
to apply
everything.
for it in July. Like I legally have to apply for it in July.
Yeah.
So I'm already not happy about it because of the way the provinces can claw it back.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'd love to dive into that episode.
And it's also why we have the exit strategy. So if every government program needs to balance out by clawing back income from one program to another,
Oh my
you're
gosh.
never going to lift yourself out of poverty based on the government giving you money because
Yeah.
they're not changing the system we have to be universal basic income or guaranteed basic income, or the income thresholds of how much income you can earn is a little bit bigger so you have more runway to build margin and change your habits, beliefs, mindsets to exit off of a system. The way the system is right now for ODSP, if you make more money, yes, it's a good thing to make your own money. I don't know why I need to tell this to people, but I seem to have to tell people this. Your money is your best way to fight poverty. And if you don't have your money, your entire existence is begging people for money, begging people on GoFundMe, begging people in a charity, doing a focus group, doing this little thing for an honorarium, and then fighting that they give you a gift card. I hate gift cards. Give me the cash so I can plan it where it needs to go on my budget.
Yeah.
Whether it's invested, whether I get prescriptions, buy new clothes, do some laundry, everything in my life has a price tag on it. And the way that we say, oh, it's not about the money, everything is about the money. And yes, swear words were in there
Yeah.
when I first said it.
Say,
And we're
show
gonna
me
pretend
the
that
money.
it's not about
Show
money.
me the
It's
money.
really it, but exactly. Like
Yeah.
even to die, when my family members were arranging the funeral for my cousin,
It's still
they
gonna
didn't
cost.
know where the money was to bury him, and they want to ship him to Jamaica. You know, shipping a body to another
Oh,
country is just as
oh
much
my.
as burying them in your own country.
Yeah, and they'll probably get
Yeah.
taxed on that too. Probably a tariff on that one too, right? Oh, gee.
Yep, yeah, probably yes.
Yeah,
Assume let's just assume right now there's tariffs on everything, but
everything.
like that's not
Right.
really the issue. Like
Yeah.
it's the fact that they wanted to plan this whole funeral arrangement. They wanted to have this package and do a digital funeral and digital memorial.
Oh
And I
my
said, who's
gosh.
going to pay for that? And
Yeah.
how long is this digital memorial going to stay on the internet?
Yeah.
My family wasn't thinking that. They literally weren't
Yeah.
thinking how long is their digital memorial going to stay on the internet. And because every time it's on the internet, for as long as it is hosted by the funeral home, costs you money.
Oh
Is
yeah.
this person's life really paying 10,000 finity millions of dollars for a memorial on the internet?
Yeah, just
No,
keep
it's
on paying.
not. You don't need to. Just and
Mhm.
then, oh, right. I'm an organ donor. Maybe I'm donating my body to science. The donating my body to science, they automatically pay for the funeral. Being on Ontario Disability Program, they automatically pay for my funeral. My family doesn't have to worry about me, but every family member I have out of the 2,000, 3,000 family members, my mom is the last out of 15, everybody, one of them does not have a plan of how they want to end their life. That means they're going to do the GoFundMe, the rallying of, oh, maybe a government program to help me bury my family member because I didn't plan it. I didn't put money aside.
Well, here in BC, actually, I'm glad you're talking about this because here in BC, like when my first wife passed away, again, that was like 12 years, over 12 years ago now. Like she was a person with a disability, and originally the province said we'll pay for it, but then and so I thought great, and then they came back like almost a week later. So I'm waiting on them before I can go ahead with the surf. I mean, you don't want to wait too long, right? But they
Yeah.
kept me waiting for I think it was like 5 or 6 days. I mean, 5 or 6 days is a lot, right?
It
and
is.
Then, and then they came back to me finally and they said, "Sorry, we can't pay for it because you have too much money already."
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm thinking to myself
Oh,
like, thanks for
oh.
stringing me along. Thanks for stringing me along. So I ended
Meanwhile,
up.
you're already going through sorrows
Yeah,
yourself.
but they
Yeah.
probably weren't looking at she was still like attached to you through marriage.
Yeah.
Like with Isabella's funeral, Isabella Gannett, she was already in ODSP. Her sister was like, "Oh, I could pay for it," but then like, no, individually, Isabella is eligible for ODSP. The funeral home said they know how to bill. The funeral home knows how to bill ODSP for the funeral arrangements. She got a full casket in blue. Then the whole casket got cremated. Then they had service. Then the service was open to everybody the way they organized it. Then the sister was like, "Hey, do you want to go for drinks?" The sister volunteered her own money to take people to get drinks in honor of her sister. But her sister, who's not on disability, not in the poverty line anymore, because they grew up poor when they were kids, but she chose a different lifestyle. She chose different choices where she's not, where she had more means. So they're looking at, okay, so your wife passed away. You are the husband. Yes, the way the institutions are set up, you, the family member, and the husband are legally responsible to take care of this person unless they can find out that you're so poor that you and her can't do anything for yourself. And that's the thing and then to do that, to be below the poverty line for multiple generations, that's a lifestyle you're practicing.
Yeah.
Like you don't do it like 5 years goes by, you're still poor. 10 years go by, you're still poor. 15 years go by, you're still poor. Then you push out kids, they're still poor. They're going to wonder what happened. And the way they find out what happened is they drag it out. They make you give receipts. They make you do paperwork. They make you, they literally make you go through the obstacle course of like Indiana Jones to prove we have to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, all the hoops.
And that is like, if you really don't choose a path to exit off of government programs, you're literally proving you'll stay in the maze of government assistance. You go up the boulder, you do the fire tricks, the lava pit and Super Mario. Like that's what you're doing. That's what you're signing up for.
All you have to do is bring out the gun and just shoot the guy.
Yeah.
Ideally, kinda, but like not really, because language. But
Yeah.
it's like if you're in the maze, the rat in the maze,
Yeah.
and
Find
you
the
wait
cheese.
for them to put the cheese in the maze.
Yeah. Where is the cheese? Somewhere in
And
the
then
maze.
you're complaining that you're stuck in a maze, you can't get out. But the maze has an exit.
Yeah.
You just have to find
Even
it.
Greek,
Or-
like the maze in the Minotaur, there's an exit. Hercules found the exit.
Yeah.
He tied a rope around him and he went through the maze, killed a monster, and came back out because a rope was attached to him for the exit.
Yay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like if you're not gonna like look for the exit, then remember where the exit is. Yeah, you're staying in the maze. I cannot feel bad for people that are in that maze unless there's like how my cousin is disabled and he has autism or cerebral palsy, but he's physically incapable of talking,
Oh.
decisions. He's once my aunt dies, he's institutionalized. Then institution, maybe they'll feed him, maybe they won't. Like it's a whole different problem over there if you're institutionalized. But then for everyone else who has internet, can make a full conversation, type full sentences on the internet. With technology now, you could make money on the internet to supplement government assistance. That's not you making a GoFundMe asking people to donate you money.
Yeah.
Like when I go live on my YouTube channel last week, someone gave me a super chat for $5.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean?
We're
Like,
trying
and
to
it's-
do that. We're trying to do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. There was the book. I told you to get this book.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Get the book.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading up
Oh,
on
for
all
people
that,
that don't
on all
know
that
what the
stuff,
book is, it's the YouTube formula book by Daryl Eves.
How to get rich on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, no, like there's a
Show
YouTube
me.
channel. He does fitness videos and talks about ODSP. He has 52,000 subscribers.
Oh.
If his channel is monetized, that's a good amount of money to supplement ODSP. And then the frustrating thing with that, YouTube is not your employer. YouTube is a business income, you being an independent contractor. Now you have to know the policy rules to fight back on ODSP because they're going to mess it around.
Yeah.
Swear words again.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be, oh, you made money from YouTube? Okay, well, it's deducted automatically. No. And again, swear words. I
Yep.
have income that's revenue. Then I have expenses to run my YouTube channel. This microphone is not cheap.
Yeah. I
You
got,
know
I
what I
got,
mean?
I got this one. It's not cheap
Exactly.
either.
They're not cheap microphones to sound clear and then run the OBS and then run the Zoom meeting that doesn't kick you out
Yeah.
after 40 minutes. It costs
Yeah.
us $25 a month just to keep your Zoom and then a website and then an
Exactly.
email list and Twitter premium that I may have to because it keeps giving me problems on a free account. Like, and AI, yes, I love my chat GPT, but sometimes this thing needs more like prompts and training and correction and like, why did it do the stupid, crazy thing that I didn't ask for it to do? Like, but for me to get it to that level, I have to pay the premium account on ChatGPT that I use to
Yes.
make content and script out content to build my YouTube channel. Like, yes, I can do it for a limited time on the free account, which has been really great for me, and then generate images for the thumbnail and stuff like that. And
Right.
my analytics on my YouTube channel is increasing, which is fantastic. But that is not me being employed. I have to do it all by myself. I'm independently running those things in my business where I have to tell the caseworker, hey, yes, YouTube makes money. No, it's not a scam. It's freaking YouTube. Here's the paycheck from YouTube. It fully
Yeah.
says Google MSP in my bank account when YouTube pays me every 21st of the month.
Yeah.
They convert it from US dollars to Canadian dollars, put it in my bank account. Then I have to keep track of every little receipt transaction that happens and send another copy to the CRA. And then if I have a caseworker who doesn't understand that, it's their problem. Go read section 5.4.
Yeah.
I'm not even messing around no more.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I had like my medications are working. Yes, the government of Ontario is paying for my medications. Yes, I have a disability because I cannot get my prescription unless my neurologist says I'm okay to take my prescription. I have to do blood work, MRI, neurologist exam, get poked and prodded with pins and needles all the damn time, walk in a straight line, do a vision test before he gives me my prescription.
Oh my
Yeah.
And
God.
oh yeah, any private insurance company is not going to pay for it. It's going to be paid for Ontario government in the sexual access program and I have to be eligible for that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's through Trillium or ODSP's transitional health benefits, because I contacted 5 private health insurance and got quotes. They're not paying for my multiple sclerosis medication.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hidden costs with the disability.
There is.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't even get to touch on insurance, but like honestly,
Yeah.
the way people, yes, you can exit. Yes, I recommend you make a plan to exit, build a YouTube channel, make a residual income because you already have the time anyway. You're already begging to have the internet anyway. You're begging to have the smartphone anyway. So turn it into a money. Like if you have the smartphone, you have the good microphone, you want to go in the Zoom meeting, want to do all these things, use that skill you did to build a YouTube channel, to log into Zoom and everything, to build your YouTube channel. Like
Yeah.
once you figure out how to download Zoom and click into Zoom and connect your camera, your microphone to Zoom, that's already the skill you need to run OBS.
Yep.
And the open broadcast software, if people don't know, it's not BS that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, OBS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to let before we leave, I just want to let people know too that I did put links for you, Minnie. I put the link to your YouTube channel, and then I put a link for all your links. I put 2 links in the description of the video, just so
Awesome.
Yes,
everybody
and then
can.
now on my YouTube channel on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm trying to play Sims, the video game, on my YouTube channel
Oh,
yeah.
because I learned when I play video games on my YouTube channel, it builds viewers and passive income automatically
Yeah.
because of
Oh.
people that are fans of video games.
Yeah.
So like again, and then oh yeah, there's a low income program to buy a laptop and a computer from a social enterprise company where they actually know that you're getting ODSP or Ontario Works and they build the laptops and computers under $500.
Oh.
So this whole excuse of, oh, I can get a computer. Yeah, you can. I found a government program. Shut up.
Yeah. Well,
Well, there you go. Right on.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
okay, great. You may need the webcam, but when you get the $500 in it, and then you pick a laptop out of the list, is a predetermined list of laptops and computers. Do not get the Chromebook. Get the iCore 5, the iCore 7 that they have available on their list. But then anything left over, you can buy a webcam.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the level of excuses. I can find a solution to your excuses, and then it's up to you to do them or not. And if you come back with the same excuse and you didn't do it, you're choosing not to.
Yeah.
Like flat out, you're choosing not to. The amount of interests and hobbies that people have that could be monetized just by reading this damn book,
Yeah.
the YouTube formula book. That's it.
Everyone, read that book.
And then, oh, the book is too expensive. Get it from the library. Tell the library you want that book. Then the book's on Audible. You know, libraries have an audio
Yep.
book
Do audio.
rental thing, an app.
I used to work in that. That's why I know.
Exactly. Like the level of, oh, I don't know where to get. We have all the free resources right in front of us. We're not using them.
It's
Yeah.
so easy now, like with Google and everything. Yeah.
No, I already broke it down. Yes, I talk very fast in it, but like I could write a description to go in chat of how to access stuff to get you going because
Mm.
like, yes, we're disabled, we're unable to work, but you're on the internet every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use the tools, right? Use the tools to your advantage.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't work. Oh, it's too complicated. You're telling me you can never learn anything new your entire life except complain that you want the government to lift you out of poverty?
Use
Yeah.
technology. Use technology to your advantage.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I'm done. I'll keep
Yeah.
talking, but
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
exhausted.
but yeah, definitely, definitely, I want people to check out Minnie's book. You really, it's an eye opener. Definitely, lots of opportunity. Definitely check out her website, her YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
Right. So people think individually they can't do anything, but you and Brent have figured a way to organize the podcast
Mm-hmm.
consistently for what, 4 years, 5 years
Yeah.
now?
4 years going on,
No,
almost.
well,
Almost.
1 year on Twitter Spaces, and this is two and a half
So
years
it's
on
3. Well, I guess 3 years, but maybe
Yeah,
going on
three-
4 years.
3 years.
Just say it's
Yeah.
four. Just say
Okay,
four.
four.
Just
Okay.
say four.
4.
Four.
That is annoying. You need to actually gas up your accomplishments.
Yeah.
Because remember, there's people out there who won't do what you're doing because they told themselves it's impossible.
Yeah. Let's say I can't do that. It's too hard. Well, it's not.
And
Yeah.
y'all email me. I remember I disappeared and took a hiatus and came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
It's-
said, "You'll come back now. You hear?"
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's pretty much. But like it's because the victim mentality doesn't solve anything. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, okay, great. This program, ask a different question. Ask different people. Take a shower when you go ask the people the question. Like, okay, I can't have soap and hygiene products. Well, then ask for the hygiene products so you can go do the interview or networking event or socializing to go meet the people. And yes, most of them have virtual events, but you can't do everything virtual.
Mm.
And then even if you're gonna just, oh, I'm homebound, you need to make sure. Like I've been working from home for 22 years, full time.
Yeah. Wow.
I traveled. I went to Texas. I went to Vegas. I went to Nashville. I took the bus from Toronto to Nashville on a Greyhound bus by myself.
Yeah. Right on.
Oh yeah, I still had multiple sclerosis and my arm is in pain the entire time. My feet were swollen the entire time. And then I had to get the hotel to give me the body pillow so I can put my feet up so the swelling would go down on my feet.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying your disability is not there. It's fully
Yeah.
100% there.
Yep.
But the pockets of time that it's not there, yeah, read the YouTube formula book and go build your YouTube channel and then figure out what government program has electronic devices or like I'm trying to launch a digital content creator program in one of the charities, maybe March of Dimes or one of them. I'm literally trying to break the BS excuses
Yeah.
from it because, oh, I can't do anything actually is not true if you're on the internet.
Yeah.
And oh, we're gathering on TikTok or we're gathering on this platform,
Yeah.
which means you're watching people with a camera on TikTok to complain about the government not giving you money to lift you out of poverty.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the level of
TikTok.
things I need to uncover and unmask and just cut the BS nonsense. Like really. Because then it's a different problem. Like if you're able to do the startups the way you need to get going, and then you need funding to, because remember the government said that they want people to work and they want to put the money in the initiatives of getting people back to work. If you're doing those things, then you can demand them helping you. It's different. Like, hey, I'm disabled, I'm working, you're not helping me. What's your plan on that?
Yeah.
Then we can call them out on that because you told me I'm disabled, I'm allowed to work, you're limiting the barriers of employment so I can be employed, then do it. Because you want me to be part of the economy, you want me to pay taxes more than what I'm already paying right now. Give me the supports. But that's a different strategy, and you can only do them when you're actually doing the steps. That's why I said start with the YouTube channel. Everybody already watching the channel is probably watching from a phone. You can check the stats on YouTube analytics, who's watching from their iPhone or from their television or what device they're watching
There's
from.
a lot that are watching on the television now.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, you can watch
it's
in the
incredible.
television.
So if you
amount of
have a
people on
disability and you have a
television.
smart TV watching YouTube, you're not
Yeah.
using your devices properly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could watch from there, and I mean, I could say, well, yeah, I'm watching
I
it.
know.
I'm
I
watching
said I
the
was
show
finished,
right
but
now
like
on the,
that, I literally had to make sure that I'm not listening to I cannot work if you're on the internet. I'm not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I'm fully like I can't. It's like get this book already told me that you're full of it if you can't
Well,
build a
my
YouTube channel.
yeah, and my goal for this year is to be
And
fully
also too, so
monetized
people that
by
need
September.
accommodations like screen readers and stuff, I found my last YouTube live, I'm using a screen reader to read a description off of
I
the
saw that.
event for the
Yeah, I
federal
saw that.
election.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that you can't do it because you need accommodations. I'm finding free ones right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm watching the show right now on YouTube. No, we are. We're right there.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yes.
That
Technology.
phone has a camera, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
yeah. It's just so you load it up, and there you go, right? I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, there we are.
Anyway, we got to get off here, Brent.
Yeah.
We'll
All
be,
right.
we'll be here all day.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in today, and I really hope you enjoyed today's show. It's been very educational, and that's what it's about. It's about educating people. It's about bringing people on the lived experience and telling people that, hey, just be yourself. Utilize the tools in your life that you can use. Use technology to your advantage, wherever it takes you. Ask questions. If you don't know, ask the questions to the government. And get them to verify and hold them accountable, saying, here's a question. I don't know the answer. Please tell me. Or if you do know the answer, hold them accountable and say, why are you not doing this? How can they help you? If you don't ask, you don't know. If you don't know the tools, find the tools, get them to help you. I mean, policy.
Invite the politicians on the podcast.
Exactly. I mean, come on to the podcast, politicians. I mean, the door is open. It's not going to hit you in the rear. Well, not yet, anyway. I mean, unless you pick the wrong door. But hey, I mean,
We can blame the accessible button for being broken.
There you go.
Yeah. You got to fix that button in order for the door to open. And again, see, we're teaching you how to fix it. It's broken. The system's broken. Come on to the show and tell us, how are you going to fix the system for persons with disabilities in Canada? Make it more accessible, make it more inclusion. There's so many things that we can talk about. So the door is open to all the federal leaders right now during the election. It's open to MPPs, MLAs, city council, like your local government. Come on to the show. Tell me how you're going to make your communities better for people in the community. They always say shop local. Well, we can talk about that too. We can talk about the CDB. We can talk about a whole bunch of things. Definitely. So thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Actually, subscribe first, and then you can like and share the content.
And as Minnie always says, buy us a coffee.
Buy us a coffee.
Buy Minnie a coffee too. Buy 3 of us a coffee.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's monthly memberships on mine. They can do a monthly membership on mine now.
Yeah, there's lots of options.
3 coffees all around.
There you go.
Bye,
and in the very near future, there's going to be some new promotions coming out, but stay tuned on that. And Neil and I are working on something. And if it's really great, then I think there's an opportunity for people. So that's a little hint. That's all I'm going to give away right now. There's lots to give away. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Cheers, everyone.
Take care.